Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gaza What Say Day. So let's go to the United States of America and then to the Ukraine and back to Washington, D.C. What in the world was that about? I mean, I watched this in shock. In fact, I'm still recovering from watching what was happening at the Oval Office in the United States White House between Zelensky and Donald Trump and the Vice President JD Vance. It was JD Vance for me. You know, I can see Donald Trump because I think the world now begins to understand what sort of a person Donald Trump is. But looking and listening to JD Vance, for me, I was like, sir, is your neck on the line? Are you afraid that at some point the very person, your boss, might turn on you because of maybe something that you may not agree with him with? So you just want to prove yourself to him, so much so that in the full view of the world, you go and embarrass the entire United States of America. Not only embarrass the entire United States of America, but you begin to show un-Americanness. Because, hey, the Star-Spangled Banner talks about the land of the free and of the brave, or home of the brave, or whatever it is that is said in that national anthem. And what I saw in that debacle, spectacle, was that America may be turning into a dictatorship. It started with JD Vance having a problem with Zelensky's attire. And hey, I thought freedom of expression, it is what the United States of America went into Iraq for, went into Libya for, and went to the Gulf for. Remember, they're the ones that say we are installing democracy. And guess what? Freedom of expression is part of democracy because that is the fundamental right of a person. However they want to dress, however they want to look, that's how they want to express themselves. And then come JD Vance, who says, why are you not wearing a suit? Who said a suit was I don't even know. I wish he elaborated a little bit more because Zelensky looks rather good in whatever it is that he's wearing. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Where is it sold? Where is this thing sold? Because just because when I don't know. Seriously, I'm actually shocked. But there's the hypocrisy for me as well from JD Vance. You had a whole Elon Musk in the Oval Office not wearing a suit, wearing a cap. Right there, but the resolution desk where the son was telling the elected president of the United States that he's not the real president, he should hush. JD Vance said nothing. Now, JD Vance is proving to the world the bully that this administration is. The bully. And how democratic principles were melting right before our eyes in this discussion between these, in fact, coming from the United States. And then I didn't understand this part about Donald Trump. Please, somebody explain this to me.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
He is tiptoeing around World War III? Is World War III upon us? Is that what I'm listening to? Is that what I'm understanding here? Is Donald Trump telling us something that we don't know? Is he actually telling us they plan for the world? Because clearly the world order just been threatened by the most powerful or one of the most powerful nations on the planet. And if nobody was listening to that, then we must not be surprised when World War III does indeed break out. And it is the emotional manipulation as well that I was listening coming from Donald Trump For whatever reason that he is pushing Zelensky into agreeing. Hey, of course Zelensky is not going to have love for Vladimir Putin for what has been happening in Ukraine. He's going to hate him. I mean, hell, if you are going to be dropping bombs in my country, I'm not going to like you either. And it's how Donald Trump, when he was campaigning and told the people of America that he would solve the Ukraine-Russia issue within 24 hours, because he knows what he's going to say to Zelensky, and he will know what to say to Vladimir Putin. And now he found it very frustrating to actually hear Zelensky say, well, whatever, I'm not going to apologize, and you're the one who chose to send us hundreds of billions of dollars. And apparently the 300 and whatever billion dollars that Donald Trump is talking about is incorrect. It's actually $158 billion, while the bulk of the assistance comes from European countries. It is also for me how global leaders in Europe all the way to Trudeau in Canada standing behind the Ukraine. When Donald Trump was saying, well, you are making matters worse for yourself because I hold the cards. And Zelensky was not listening. Zelensky, I think the man is a Zulu. Zelensky Zulu ne? Have you argued with a Zulu person before? Even when the war, they've won it, they still will argue with you. Hey, Zulu nam before you all come for me. Nam Zulu. So I'm just letting you, it's just the shock for me. For me, it is definitely the meltdown or the dismantlement of the democratic principles that the United States has always fought for and upheld. You know how each country has its own standing, like South Africa stands for human rights. In fact, we are the pedestal for human rights and humanity. And the United States always prided itself with democracy and how it is the defender and protector of democracy. That was not democracy we were watching in action. That was an entire bullying, and the entire world saw it for exactly what it was. Bullying, no democracy. This was to humiliate Zelensky. But Zelensky stood his ground. I am so impressed with this man. I know he's a comedian professionally. I could be wrong. I stand corrected. Before he became the president of the Ukraine. Is it the Ukraine or Ukraine? Sometimes I get confused with European countries how to exactly refer. I think it's Ukraine. I'm very impressed, I must say. Super impressed with the way he stood his ground. And there is definitely something between the lines here about why the United States, particularly Donald Trump's administration, so desperate to have Zelensky make a deal here with Russia. And also the relationship that is also going on between Russia and Donald Trump. What is that about? What is that about? Is he convincing Russia to also pull away from the BRICS? Are we going to be finding a situation like that? Remember that also Donald Trump, he's being ill-informed by former apartheid heads that are part of his administration advisors. And he's already started with withdrawing things like US aid and PEPFAR from South Africa. And now that he is having friendships with Vladimir Putin, what are discussions about South Africa in those meetings? And do you think now that we've seen what Zelensky has gone through, if our own president Cyril Ramaphosa sends his envoy to the White House to paint a picture, the true picture of what's going on in South Africa, as well as the land expropriation, Bella Act, and all of that stuff, are they not going to experience a similar humiliation? I think so. I think so. And I very much think so. This is insane. This is absolutely insane what I witnessed. But Zelensky, wow, you stood your ground, sir. Well, I'm impressed. Super impressed, as a matter of fact. Super impressed. Respect to you. But of course, we all want the war to stop in Ukraine. We don't want any war anywhere in the world. Absolutely no war anywhere in the world. We must learn to speak. We have mouths, we have brains. There is no way that you can resolve a problem by dropping bombs and unaliving innocent people. It makes no sense to me. It makes absolute no sense to me. But it is what it is. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts when it comes to this Donald Trump Zelensky debacle. And I think the person that won this one definitely is Zelensky. Zelensky, he won this one. And the world, of course, those that stand with Ukraine said we stand with Ukraine. All right. Me, I am a person of resolution. I'm not going to stand, what do you call this? I'm not going to stand behind anybody. All I'm saying is have a talk, resolve this, and rebuild. All right? That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, guys, goodbye.